Before I start, I want to thank my two adorable sisters over there. The noisy ones here. Please stand up. So I have two sisters, Jackie, my firstborn, and Maureen, my second-born sister. So if you have read my chapter or you are about to read my chapter, uniquely the last one, and I'll say why, it features those two girls. Yes. And of course, my mom and dad, my late mom and dad, yes. So to Zion Paul, I want to say thank you. Again, yes, as everyone has said, LinkedIn was where we were all connected, yeah? And through that, we have created also friendships, yeah? And I remember when he wrote to me, I went to my big sister and was like, you won't believe this. Some guy has reached out to me and I'm just like, is it a raw deal? I'm not so sure. So I go, I check out Zion Paul and I'm like, okay, he's done quite an amazing work. And why I told them is because when my mom and dad passed on, we were still very young in our families. So my children were very young. So only my firstborn could probably remember my mom. So they didn't meet our dad. Yeah, and what we told ourselves was, because we are constantly talking to them and telling them, you know, Shosho wanted this, Kuka used to like this. We were like, we have to write a book. So the plan was, we're going to write a book, but me and my sisters. Then who comes up? That guy comes up. And he reaches out and I tell him, I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure, you know, because again, writing wasn't really like something that I thought I could do, right? And I remember, and that's why I want to applaud Celine, because Celine is one girl who is very patient with me. Uniquely why my chapter is the last one is, again, the challenge of writing, the challenge of meeting the deadline, the reminders. I don't know how many times I even apologized. Why? But it's because for me, writing this chapter was about personal experience. And you know, when it's personal, usiniharakishe personal. Personal goes my way, my pace. And again, it's personal from a point of, it's my late mom and dad. So this is very personal. I'm reflecting, I'm thinking, what do I put? I have so much to say, but I'm like, which one will do I want published at this point, yeah? So, and that is why, yeah, so I want to say thank you to Zion Paul. I honestly think that it's already figured out. You're the guys we're coming for to tell, because we want to tell that story about my parents, yeah? So it will be Zion Paul for sure, because of the experience. So, so back to, I think all the ladies have spoken a lot, and some of them have, the challenge of being one of the last speakers is that wamesema nilikuwa nataka kusema, you know, but then you can never miss something to say, right? So for me, when I look at this journey writing this book, again, it reflects on my two adorable sisters and my mom and dad. And why I say so is because for us, resilience was from childhood. And when I say childhood, I mean like I was 5 years, you know, childhood. And because my sisters and I have a very small gap. So our life has been, you know, their experience is kind of my experience. Only that, you know, we had a big sister who was the mother of the two of us, right? And some of the stories, and I think when I look at, knowing that this book is being launched in July, I was like, perfect. This is a perfect time because we're celebrating our fathers, right? And I was so perfect because it reminds me of a lot about how our dad should resist when we were so young, okay? And what I will speak to right now is not something you will particularly see in my chapter, but I remember one thing. When my dad was on his retirement, last year of retirement, then he got diagnosed with cancer. There's nothing so painful like that. Not even for us, but for him. He lived his life knowing that, no, now I'm ready for retirement, sit, enjoy, and then cancer comes. And when it came when he was transitioning. That guy was smart. Let me tell you, he transitioned from teaching to law. So my father did law when I was a big girl in high school. all along he was a head teacher. That guy was smart. So he was preparing for retirement, and his retirement was what? Go and run my law firm. Because law firm now has no retirement, and all. Then what happens? Cancer comes. And for those who have had loved ones with cancer or friends, that treatment. My dad only stayed for a year, and then he passed on. But in that 1 year, where resilience came in. That guy did a lot. He's diagnosed with cancer, then we go into the treatment, and he's okay. He goes back to his law firm. That guy goes back to his law firm. Remember, he's lost his voice box. So he's using some machine over there, to try and, because now he can't speak. But he goes back to the law firm and starts running it. Law requires you to speak. But that guy still stayed on. I mean, what kind of resilience is that, right? And after that, he stayed for about 3 months. Then it came again. And that's when now he had to let go of the law firm and continue with his treatment. So when I look at that time, it's uniquely a very difficult time because it was a time for the post-election. What else has he lost? His home. Because we are from Rift Valley, so our house was burnt down. But that guy, again, the resilience, I don't even know what to say. He's getting his treatment by now not from his home. He's in a rental house. Why? Because he's lost retirement home. But he never gave up. And I can't remember a day we looked at Dad and he was showing us worry. We were big girls then, having our homes, but the guy could, there is no time he ever showed worry. For whatever reason he had this strength that he was emitting for us guys, that right now I look at it and I'm just like, if he could do that, you are unwell, you are ready for your retirement, and then this happens to you, and you're still okay. When you come home to visit him, the guy is just emitting hope, and we're like, whoa, this is really, really something else. So when I look back right now, it's when I'm telling myself, this is what resilience is all about, just that it's not been spoken, right? So going back to what I think Radoni had said, and a lot of you have said it, how do we respond to when things go wrong? Because for my dad, they went really wrong. Do you respond by being very bitter? Bitter with God, bitter with people because you've lost your home and everything? Or how do you respond to it? But when I look at my dad, I think that is the only thing that speaks in my head is just the resilience and the hope that he emitted to anyone who came to visit him, to us when we went to visit him, right? And for me, that story is what I want to leave you with, because if it's not you, you have a friend or a family member who is going through really difficult times. And what happens sometimes is when things are going wrong, most of them are usually public, but there are a lot that are private. Even right now, you yourself, you have something, but no one knows about it, right? And for me, it's to encourage you to remember that, how do we turn this pain that you have into purpose? It's very difficult to even understand what this purpose is, right? But for me, I am reminded that somehow God shows that purpose. It's at times very difficult to see it, and at times people like then are the ones who help you and guide you to see it. But if you don't have the opportunity to see a counselor or an expert, you have a friend. Because for me, I keep saying, if you have even one friend who tells you, you know what, Mary, I got you. I will listen. Not so many, just one friend. Yeah, it could be your spouse, it could be your sister, it could be your mom, it could be your workmate, someone who you just share with. It somehow helps elevate that sort of like distraction that comes with when things are going wrong in your life, right? So I don't want to speak much. Let me just go back to my notes. This is a whole new thing for me. I want to leave you with 3 memorable takeaways. Okay, so the first one, when things go wrong, they don't have to define our story. Again, just going back to my dad. Things went wrong, but that guy kept on, right? Then the second one, resilience is built, not born. So how I'd put this is, every difficult situation you go through brings out something new in you. You might not see it, and most of the time you don't see it, and that's why a lot of people give up, because you're not seeing it. You're blurred. You can't see it because you can't see beyond the challenge that you have. But for me, what I wish to say is, there's a way when we talk about hope. For me, I say hope is not pretending that you're okay, but hope is believing that even in uncertainty, God can still bring that purpose. That purpose which is a challenge to see when you're constantly told, turn your pain into purpose. And you're like, what is this? I'm not getting it, yeah? So God somehow just continues to open your eyes and you'll be able to see your purpose. So as I close, I want to leave you with one statement, that sometimes life doesn't fall apart. It falls into a shape that we could not imagine. And it's the truth. Why? Because every time you're planning something and things go wrong, you have planned it's going to be a square, but God says, Nana, this is going to be an oval. And it's for you to try and navigate that oval and see what is God seeing ahead for me. So I leave you with that. Oh my God, sorry, please. She's distracted me. This is my friend called Pam, all the way from Naivasha. Oh, thanks for coming. Thanks for coming, Pam. Yeah, so this is what I leave you with. And I pray to God that, the book blesses all of you. And as Carol said, Church has said, when we all met, we all put in our reflections. But it's amazing how when you read from chapter 1 to chapter 10, it feels like these women sat down, did workshops together and whatever, but it wasn't that. So I really thank God for that. So thank you all for coming and blessing us. And I pray to God that this book blesses you and blesses everyone around you. Thank you.